G'day and welcome to Mr. Watson's Math. Today we are in Year 5 Oxford Math book looking at Unit 5, Topic 1, Length and Perimeter. When you are measuring, it is important to be as accurate as possible. The length of this pencil is not 8 centimetres, so you can see that they haven't actually lined up the edge of the pencil with the 0, so you've got to make sure things are lined up perfectly. The pencil above is more than 8 centimetres. Circle the best estimate for its actual length. I've just given you a bit of a clue there. It's going to be a bit longer, isn't it? Write the length of each red line above it. So measuring, you can see where that lines up. It's making sure it's on the 0. It's good to go. For example, 6 centimetres. Okay. Write the length of the red line in centimetres and millimetres, and then in centimetres with a decimal. So you can see this one here is 5.2 centimetres or 5 centimetres and 2 millimetres. So you've got to write both the measurements. Use a ruler to measure these lines. Write the length as you did in question 3. So in question 3 it asks us to do both ways when we're writing it. Moving over here to our independent practice, it says there is a quicker way to find a perimeter. The total length of all of these sides of a rectangle is 2 centimetres by 1.5 by 2 centimetres by 1.5, which gives us 7 centimetres. So the perimeter is 7 centimetres, so all the way around is what the perimeter is. You can find the perimeter of a rectangle above by adding 2 and 1.5 and then doubling it to get the answer. So it's length plus width times 2. Explain why. You've got to explain why there. Calculate the perimeters of these rectangles without using a ruler, so they're not drawn to scale, so don't bother using your ruler. So we've got 3 plus 6 is 9, and then times that by 2 gives us 18 centimetres. How many lines would you need to measure to find the perimeter of this square here? What is the perimeter of the square? So that one we do use our ruler. Find the perimeter of each 2D shape. How many lines do you need to measure? So you've got to find the perimeter of it, write it in, and then say how many lines you needed to measure. Some will be a little bit easier than others. You can see these little red lines, they mean that they are equal. Those sides are equal. This one's an equilateral triangle. All 3 sides are equal. Okay, let's move on to our second page here. And get our pen back. In this topic, you have used centimetres and millimetres as units of length. Metres and kilometres can also be used. So they've given you a nice little measurement chart here. Use the information to complete these length conversion tables. 1 centimetre is 10 millimetres. So 2 centimetres is 20 millimetres. I think I said that wrong a second ago. Same over here. 1 metre is 100 centimetres, so 3 metres is going to be 300 centimetres. And you'll keep doing the conversion for all of those ones here. It's just working backwards. If 200 is 1, 300 is 3, then 200 is 2 metres. Okay, working backwards. You can use different units of length to measure the same objects. For example, a pencil could be described as 9 centimetres long or 90 millimetres long. Which 2 units of length would you use for these ones? So the length of a pencil sharpener, I would use millimetres, and I'd also use centimetres. I wouldn't use metres or kilometres. Find the perimeters of these shapes. Write the answer in millimetres and centimetres with a decimal. So using your ruler for these ones, you'll get the perimeter, well, I don't know what it'll be, 32 millimetres or something like that, which will be equal to 3.2 centimetres. That's not the right answer, but just to give you an example. Over here, there is a special right-angled triangle called 3, 4, 5 triangle because the sides are always in that proportion. A triangle with sides in those proportions always has the right angle in it. Okay? It doesn't matter if the units of measurement is centimetres, metres, millimetres, or even kilometres. On a separate piece of paper, draw triangles with whose sides are multiples of 3, 4, 5. You could start with 3 centimetre by 4 centimetre 5 and then do a 6, 8, 10, okay, using the same scale. With your teacher's permission, you could even draw a triangle measuring 3 metres by 4 metres by 5 metres, so maybe like chalk on the carpet or something. Draw a square that has a perimeter of exactly 10 centimetres, so you have to work out how to draw a square, that's a rectangle, with exactly 10 centimetres. Audrey has a pencil that is 14.5 centimetres long. Write the length in as many different ways as you can. So I'm thinking, 14.5, 140, okay, 145, giving you a few clues there. This line is 3.2 centimetres long. Increase it by 12.3 centimetres. Write the total length of the line in 2 different ways. Write the perimeter of these regular shapes in 2 ways. They are not drawn to scale, so don't bother using your ruler to try and measure them. It's not going to work. That one looks like an equilateral triangle, so multiplying by 3 could be a really good option there. That is it for our activity today. I hope you've learnt a few little things about length and